Mecca is home to the Kaaba, one of Islam's holiest sites and the direction of Muslim prayer. And thus Mecca is regarded as one of the holiest cities in Islam. Unfortunately, the Kaaba, around which Muslims perform the pilgrimage every year, also known as the Hajj, has recently been shut down by the Saudi government due to a potential pandemic on the rise. Nonetheless, the city of Mecca still remains highly respected for many reasons. So in this video, I will be talking about 10 surprising facts about the city of Mecca. How's it going, FTD Facts family? It's Rawan Hadafa and I'm back to talk about the city of Mecca. I'm pretty excited about this video because Mecca is truly a beautiful city that holds a lot of religious value for billions of people across the world. So how about we jump right into the video and learn more about the city together. So the first fact on this list has to do with Mecca's etymology and usage. Mecca is the familiar form of the English translation for the Arabic name of the city. Although the official translation used by the Saudi government is Mecca, spelled as M-A-K-K-A-H, which is closer to the Arabic pronunciation. The full official name is Mecca al-Mukarrama, which means Mecca the Honored, but is also loosely translated as the Holy City of Mecca. The ancient or early name for the site of Mecca is known as Becca. Widely believed to be a synonym for Mecca, it is said to be more specifically the early name for the valley located therein, while Muslim scholars generally use it to refer to the sacred area of the city that immediately surrounds and includes the Kaaba. Another surprising fact about Mecca is that its 2 million population actually triples during the pilgrimage periods. The pilgrimage to Mecca attracts millions of Muslims from all over the world. There are two main pilgrimages, the Hajj and the Umrah. The Hajj, the greater pilgrimage, is performed annually in Mecca and nearby sites. During the Hajj, several million people of varying nationalities come together to worship. Every adult, healthy Muslim who has the financial and physical capacity to travel to Mecca and can make the arrangements for their care of their dependents during the trip must perform the Hajj at least once in a lifetime. Umrah, which is known as the lesser pilgrimage, is not obligatory but is recommended in the Quran. So the Meccan economy has been heavily dependent on the annual pilgrimage. As one academic put it, Meccans have no means of earning a living but by serving the Hajjis. Income generated from the Hajj, in fact, not only powers the Meccan economy but has historically had far-reaching effects on the economy of the entire Arabian Peninsula. The income was generated in a number of ways. One method was taxing the pilgrims. Taxes especially increased during the Great Depression, and many of these taxes existed as late as 1972. Another way the Hajj generates income is through services to pilgrims. For example, the Saudi national airline Saudia generates 12% of its income from the pilgrimage. Fares paid by pilgrims to reach Mecca by land also generate income, as do the hotels and lodging companies that house them. The city takes in more than $100 million, while the Saudi government spends about $50 million on these services for the Hajj. There are some industries and factories in the cities, but Mecca no longer plays a major role in Saudi Arabia's economy, which is mainly based on oil exports. Mecca's culture has been affected by a large number of pilgrims that arrive annually, and thus boasts a rich cultural heritage. As a result of the vast numbers of pilgrims coming to the city each year, Mecca has become by far the most diverse city in the Muslim world. In contrast to the rest of Saudi Arabia, and particularly Najd, Mecca has, according to the New York Times, become a striking oasis of free thought and discussion, and also of unlikely liberalism. In fact, Mecca owns its own hometown paper known as Al-Nadwa. However, other Saudi and international newspapers are also provided in Mecca, such as the Saudi Gazette, Al-Madina, Okaz, and Al-Bilad. The first three are Mecca's primary newspapers, focusing mainly on issues that affect the city, with over 1 million readers. In pre-modern Mecca, the most common sports were impromptu wrestling and foot races. Football is the most popular sport in Mecca, and the city is hosting some of the oldest sport clubs in Saudi Arabia, such as Al-Wahda FC, established in 1945. And of course, the King Abdulaziz Stadium, which is the largest stadium in Mecca with a capacity of 38,000 people. The city of Mecca actually happens to be home to the Black Stone, which is set in the eastern corner of the Kaaba. It is revered by Muslims as an Islamic relic, which, according to Muslim tradition, dates back to the time of Adam and Eve. The stone was venerated at the Kaaba in pre-Islamic times, and according to Islamic tradition, it was set intact into the Kaaba's wall by the Islamic prophet Muhammad, 5 years before his first revelation. Since then, it has been broken into fragments and is now cemented into a silver frame in the side of the Kaaba. Its physical appearance is that of a fragmented dark rock, polished smooth by the hands of pilgrims. Islamic tradition holds that it fell from heaven as a guide for Adam and Eve to build an altar. It has often been described as a meteorite. Muslim pilgrims circle the Kaaba as a part of the Tawaf ritual during the Hajj, and many try to stop to kiss the black stone, emulating the kiss that Islamic tradition records that it received from Muhammad. Muslims, however, do not worship the black stone. Okay, so we have 5 more facts left to this video, but before I go on to list them, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to smash that subscribe button so you can always be notified of all our new videos. We teach you guys something new every day, so you don't want to miss that for sure. So this next fact actually has to do with the cuisine in the city of Mecca. As in other Arab cities, kabsa, which is a spiced dish of rice and meat, is the most traditional lunch in the city. But the Yemeni mandi, which is a dish of rice and tandoori cooked meat, is also quite popular. Grilled meat dishes such as shawarma, kofta, and kebab are widely sold in Mecca. During Ramadan, fava beans and olive oil and samosas are the most popular dishes and are eaten at dusk. These dishes are almost always found in Lebanese, Syrian, and Turkish restaurants. And the mixture of different ethnicities and nationalities amongst Meccan residents has significantly impacted Mecca's traditional cuisine. The city has been described as one of the most cosmopolitan Islamic cities with international cuisine. Traditionally, during the month of Ramadan, men are provided with mineral water and fruit juice for Muslims breaking their fast at dusk. In the 20th century, many fast food chains opened franchises in Mecca, catering to locals and pilgrims alike. Exotic foods such as fruits from India and Japan are even often brought by the pilgrims as well. Another surprising fact that most people don't know about Mecca is that there are many public and private schools for both girls and boys, but the city only has one university. Formal education started to be developed in the late Ottoman period, continuing slowly into and Hashemite times. The first major attempt to improve the situation was made by a Jeddah merchant known as Muhammad al-Zainal Rida, who founded the Madrasat al-Falih in Mecca in 1911 that cost £400,000. As of 2005, there were 532 public and private schools for males and another 681 public and private schools for female students. The medium of instruction in both public and private schools is Arabic, with emphasis on English as a second language. But some private schools founded by foreign entities such as international schools use the English language for the medium of instruction. For higher education, the city only has one university, as I mentioned, known as al-Qura University, which was established in 1949 as a college and became a public university in 1979 as well. Next up on the list at number 3 is the fact that in 2010, the Mecca area became an important site for paleontology with respect to primate evolution with the discovery of a Sirenius fossil. Sirenius is considered to be a primate closely related to the common ancestor of the old world monkeys and apes. The fossil habitat near what is now known as the Red Sea in western Saudi Arabia was a damp forest area between 28 million and 29 million years ago. The city of Mecca also happens to be home to the Well of Zamzam, which is a well located in the Masjid of Haram, 20 meters east of the Kaaba. According to Islam, it is a miraculously generated source of water from God, which sprang thousands of years ago when Ibrahim's son Ismail was left with his mother Hajar in the desert, where he was thirsty and kept crying. The name of the well comes from the phrase Zomi Zomi, meaning stop flowing, a command repeated by Hajar during her attempt to contain the spring water. Millions of pilgrims visit the well each year while performing the Hajj or Umrah pilgrimages in order to drink its water. Another holy place that Mecca is home to is known as Jabal al-Nur, which is a mountain near Mecca in the Hijazi region. The mountain houses the grotto or cave of Hira, which holds tremendous significance for Muslims throughout the world, as the Islamic Nabi Prophet Muhammad is said to have spent a great deal of time in this cave meditating, and it is widely believed that it was here that he received his first revelation, which consisted of the first 5 ayats of Surah Al-Alaq from the angel Jibreel. The mountain itself is barely 640 meters. Nonetheless, 1 to 2 hours are needed to make the strenuous hike to the cave. There are 1,750 steps to take to the top, which can take anywhere between 25 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes. Last but certainly not least on the list is the fact that non-Muslims are actually prohibited from entering the city of Mecca. Mecca was long ruled by Muhammad's descendants, the Sharifs acting either as independent rulers or as vassals to larger polities. It was conquered by Ibn Saud in 1925. Non-Muslims may not enter or travel through Mecca, and attempting to enter Mecca as a non-Muslim can actually result in penalties such as a fine. Being in Mecca as a non-Muslim can also result in deportation. In the city of Medina, however, both Muslims and non-Muslims are allowed in. Alright guys, so as you can see, Mecca is one of Islam's holiest sites and the direction of Muslim prayer. It is highly recognized for being home to the Kaaba, but it's also home to other holy regions that hold a lot of value for Muslims around the world. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun filming it for you and doing research on this amazing holy city. But before you leave the video, I'm gonna leave you with another video that you have to check out. Trust me. I look forward to seeing you guys in our next episode. Bye!